What's up guys, macadii here, and today guys, the Bouffalant builds transaction video for week 4 of the Pokemon Fight Club. Now if you're excited, don't forget to hit the like button down below. We have got some excellent trades for you guys. This is also the final week of trading, so I wanted to try and get a few little cheeky ones in before we finally sort of seal up our teams for the rest of the season. So what we're going to do is go through them, and then I'm going to give an overview of the entire team as a whole. Just a very brief one, just so you guys get an idea of what is actually left over, because there's been a lot of changes since week 1. So what we're going to do first of all is go to the first trade. So we have traded Keldeo, Ollie the Keldeo with the Asda Price Apoms. Now this may sound like a very strange thing to do, considering Keldeo has been putting in work these past few weeks, but it's a little bit of an experiment for me. I think what my team really lacks is I always end up having like bulky stuff, which is my walls and stuff like that, and then I've got very fast, relatively frail threats, and I don't have anything that can really wall break and really break through walls. Obviously, to an extent, Mega Metagross is a wall breaker, but it does struggle with a lot of things, and I have found something that builds a reasonably good sort of offensive core with it, in the fact that it can just break almost any type of wall that Mega Metagross really struggles with. So obviously, the things Mega Metagross struggles with is bulky steel types, because outside of EQ, which doesn't get Tough Claws boost, you can't really do a huge amount to me. I mean, you got HP Fire, and that's about it. Apart from that, as far as I'm aware. And on top of that as well, just anything that's like super bulky that it can't 2-hit KO, it's always a bit of a threat, because it's normally going to have like T-Wave or something like that. So I wanted to try and fix that problem up a little bit and go for something that was a wall breaker. Also, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Exploud. And don't worry, I wasn't able to trade for Exploud or anything like that, but this guy follows that same sort of principle, where if I can get him in, every time he's in, he basically gets a kill, because anything that's faster than him pretty much gets O-code by him, and then anything that's slower than him as well also gets 2-hit KO'd. So that's absolutely fantastic. So the trade I decided to go for is for Fugs Bunny the Diggersby. Now this guy is absolutely fantastic. He has a ground and normal typing, which is really nice. Gives me really nice neutral coverage across most teams, and just matches up better overall in the upcoming weeks as well. I've got to kind of build my team based around those as well, and Ollie just doesn't fit in as well as Fugs Bunny does. It gives me a really nice speed gap, because it fills in that sort of speed gap that I sort of have in terms of offense, where I had, as I said, I had very fast stuff, but if anything was faster, I had huge problems with it as well, and Diggersby just fixes just those sorts of problems, and just the absolute power is insane. This guy maxes out at 464 attack, which is just absolutely insane. He gets Swords Dance, which means if you've got a defensive team, Swords Dance, just once you get his SD up, basically no wall can stand in your way. Even like max defense Ferrothorn goes down to a +2 EQ. It's just absolutely crazy. I think after Rocks, that's just an example calc, but just to show you the insane power of Diggersby. On top of this as well, he does get U-turn for initiative, agility as well, so if they decide to bring an offensive team, if I know I can take a hit or I sash it, I can go up to an agility and then just run through the team late game and sweep. So that's absolutely fantastic. You can run this Choice Banded, I can run this Life Orb. He gets quick attack, which hits really hard. A lot of the faster frail things like, for example, you know, like Thunderous or something like that, yeah, just fast threats. For example, like Keldeo. Let's take Keldeo, for example. You do almost 50% to a Keldeo, which is quick attack with Life Orb. So it's going to be really good, and just works really well with the team, and gives me just the wall breaker this team really needs. As I said, every time it comes in, it just gets a free kill, and that's the way I like to play. And just a really good addition to the team. Obviously, I do lose out on a very powerful fighting type and water type. I've already got a water type, a little bit more of a defensive one, so to speak, but I still think mixing it up should make a little bit of difference. And on top of that as well, Fugs Bunny just makes a much better Scarfer. I very much dislike Scarfers that don't have switch initiative. So this guy having U-turn with Choice Scarf still hits really hard. So that's really nice. So this gives me a Scarf option as well, which should be really nice. Obviously, the speed is a little bit lackluster for a Scarfer, but I can still make it so it outspeeds their entire team, which should be really good. The second trade we've got is with the Maple Nuzleafs. We have decided to trade away Donphan. I'm not a fan of this guy. I apologise for the pun, but and I apologise to John as well, because John likes Donphan a lot, but I just can't use him. I don't know what it is. I just either set up rocks or spin with him, and then he dies. it just, I just can't get my head around him, and I just don't like it, basically. And I'd much rather have something on my team that I can use, and I'd be happy to use, and I like. So what I've ended up doing is actually getting a trade, which I think I have done really well with. So I've ended up trading Donphan away for Batty the Gligar. So this guy is really, really nice. He's got the option for immunity. You can get defog options on him. You can get stealth rocks. But on top of that as well, something very, very sneaky, this guy also gets access to Swords Dance and agility. So another double dance user, but also a baton pass user, which is really, really nice. That gives me a lot of potential Mega Metagross. If I could pass a Swords Dance to that guy, basically I will win games with that. So that's fantastic. The defenses on this guy is through the roof with an Eviolite. I mean, with that we reach what's that, see, 334 HP and like nearly, yeah, we break 450 defense. So that's absolutely insane. Or if I wanted to, I could even invest in Spadef to get a really nice mix wall going on. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with this guy. And he has, you know, a respectably good set of coverage moves as well. And just overall, just gives me what I want. It gives me all of the options that Donphan gave me, but a more bulk, recovery in terms of roost, and also initiative in terms of U-turn and things like that. I think this guy also gets knockoff. He does also get knockoff, so to me, I think it's a better Donphan. At least the way I play. Obviously, I am now weak to Ice by 4 times, which is a bit of a shame. But I've got quite a few things that I can switch into. Obviously, Fugs Bunny doesn't increase my Ice weakness. But I've got Mega Metagross and I've got a few other things. So I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. But what we're going to do now is, those are the 2 trades. But we're going to now move over to my Google Sheet where we've got all of the team there. And we're going to have a very, very brief discussion about that. So here we go. Here is my team as a whole. I am really, really happy with it because we've got the Mega Metagross, which is really, really powerful. Absolutely loving using it. So much fun to use. We have got some great defensive things there. We've got Fortress for Hazard Step. We've got Clefable, Gligar, Jellicent. Skuntank was also very, very bulky as well. And just overall, really, really happy with my sort of bulkier side. We've got Hydreigon. Alakazam has been the MVP. At least one of the MVPs for these games. Having something in the back that I can just sash and never have to worry about a problem of something sweeping is really, really nice. So I'm really, really happy with that. The only ones that I'm slightly disappointed with still are possibly, well, obviously Furret, and maybe Politoed as well, just because they're not particularly useful. But to be honest, they're my PU picks, you know, what can I do about that? Spiritomb and Jellicent doubling up and typings is a bit unfortunate, but I've not been able to get rid of Spiritomb. But they should be fine. I mean, Spiritomb is a little bit null, but it should still hopefully serve a purpose in 1 or 2 of the games. And even if I don't use it, even that's just 3 out of, you know, 14 Pokemon I could potentially use. And I think overall I'm very, very happy. Braviary I know has not hit the field, but potentially in future matches it may end up doing that. It is a really, really good mon. I just haven't found the team that has a good matchup on, so that's why I've not actually brought it. And hazard stack options, as I said, with Fortress is really, really nice. Clefable, I'm so happy to get Clefable. I know Clefable has not been doing very well recently. I guess it did well last game, but the game before that it didn't do very well. But I think it should be really, really nice. It informs a really nice Dragon Steel Fairy Core with the Mega Metagross and also the Hydreigon. Hydreigon as well. I've got mixed feelings about Hydreigon. Hydreigon is really, really good. I'm not trying to put it down, but my feeling is you almost always have to scarf it. Just because there's so many things that are fast and offensive that just body it, that you almost always end up scarfing it, which I do find is unfortunate. I'm excited to use Diggersby, as I've said, and Gligar's got a lot of potential. So overall, I'm really, really happy with the draft. It's got a lot of different options going with it, lots of different sets, lots of different roles that each of the teams can fill, and I don't have to be bringing the same 6 mons every single week, so that's really, really good. So that's the sort of overall analysis for the final team for the Bouffalant builds. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and I will see you guys at the week 4 battle on Thursday, where we are up against Matt, aka HDV, which I'm really looking forward to. He is a friend of mine, so it's going to be a little bit interesting to see. It's always interesting battling friends, just because you kind of like want to be more chill, but then it still really matters to you. But we'll have to see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys at the next one. Macadii out.